Have you ever stopped and looked around your home, only to realize how much of the space is taken up by things you no longer use, but still can't bring yourself to let go of? Over time, this kind of silent clutter begins to grow. It sneaks in slowly. A worn-out chair here, a pile of papers there, sentimental objects tucked away in corners just in case. At first, it doesn't seem like much, but year after year it builds, and without even realizing it, your once peaceful living space becomes crowded, heavy, and harder to manage. But here's something many people overlook. Decluttering your home isn't just about getting rid of things. It's about setting yourself free. It's about creating a space that reflects who you are today, not who you were 20 years ago. Before you turn 70, there are certain household items that deserve a second look. Not because they're unimportant, but because holding on to them might be weighing you down more than you think. In this video, we're going to explore 6 specific categories of items that might be quietly stealing your energy, your time, and your peace of mind. These are things you've probably kept out of habit, comfort, or nostalgia. But once you let them go, you'll begin to feel something you didn't expect: relief. And this isn't about loss. It's about freedom. Freedom from clutter, from stress, and from objects that no longer serve you. So, let's begin with something that many people struggle to part with. 1. Worn out and unused furniture. One of the biggest contributors to household clutter is old furniture that has outlived its purpose. Over the years, it's easy to gather chairs, tables, cabinets, some inherited, some bought on a whim, and others gifted to us. At one point, these pieces might have been useful or even beautiful, but now they just sit there, unused, unnoticed, and often completely unnecessary. The truth is, holding on to furniture that is broken, uncomfortable, or simply in the way doesn't just eat up physical space. It adds mental and emotional weight. That big armchair nobody ever sits in. The dining table that hasn't hosted a meal in years. The cabinet with drawers that stick no matter how many times you try to fix them. These things don't bring joy anymore. They bring frustration. And as we grow older, having too much bulky furniture makes it harder to move around freely. It becomes easier to trip, harder to clean, and more tiring just to navigate the space that should feel like your sanctuary. Take Frank, for instance. He's 74 and has lived in the same cozy home for decades. Over the years, he gathered furniture piece by piece, some from friends, some passed down from family. His home became a collection of memories. But slowly, those memories turned into obstacles. He noticed it was getting harder to clean, harder to walk through rooms. Some spaces no longer felt like places to relax. They felt like storage units. It wasn't until his daughter casually pointed out that he had 5 chairs in his living room, but only used 2, that he realized it was time to let go. So he did something brave. He started with just one room. He let go of the chair with the broken leg, the coffee table that made walking around the room nearly impossible. Piece by piece, he released what no longer added value to his life, and something unexpected happened. His home felt lighter. He felt lighter, and for the first time in years, he could truly enjoy the space around him. That's the thing about furniture. When it works for you, it enhances your life. But when it becomes excess weight, it silently drains your energy and overwhelms your senses. So, ask yourself, when was the last time I actually used this? If you have to think hard, chances are it's time to let it go. Because the home you deserve isn't one filled with things from the past. It's a space that supports who you are right now. 2. Clothes you never wear. We all do it. We keep clothes we haven't worn in years. Sometimes it's a dress saved for a someday occasion, a suit that hasn't fit since the 90s, or a drawer full of old t-shirts that haven't seen daylight in ages. But here's the truth. Before you turn 70, it's time to rethink what's hanging in your closet. A cluttered wardrobe is more than just an overstuffed closet. It creates mental noise. Every morning, you face a wall of options, many of which are outdated, uncomfortable, or no longer suit your lifestyle. And still, you hesitate to let go. Why? Because clothes carry memories. That coat from a meaningful event. Those jeans from a favorite vacation. Even shoes you haven't worn in a decade. They whisper stories from the past. But your wardrobe should reflect who you are now, not who you used to be. Take Linda, for example. She's 72, stylish, and full of life. But her closet, it told a different story. It was packed with items she hadn't touched in decades. Dresses from the 80s. Jackets she hadn't worn in years. Shoes that looked lovely, but hurt her feet every single time. Each morning, she felt overwhelmed. Too many choices. Not enough she actually wanted to wear. So, one day, she decided enough was enough. She pulled every single item out of her closet and made 3 simple piles. Clothes she loved and wore often. Clothes that didn't fit or were uncomfortable. Clothes she was keeping just in case. That 3rd pile was the hardest. But as she began letting go, she felt something powerful. Clarity. Her closet became simpler, lighter, and filled only with things she actually enjoyed wearing. That's the beauty of decluttering your wardrobe. You're not just making room, you're making life easier. It becomes easier to get dressed, easier to stay organized, and easier to appreciate the items that truly bring you comfort and confidence. And here's the best part. Those clothes you never wear, someone else might need them. So instead of letting them sit unused, donate them. Give them a second life. So the next time you look at your closet and see more chaos than calm, ask yourself, does this still serve me? Do I feel good wearing this? If the answer is no, it's time to thank it for its role in your life and let it go. Because at this stage, your wardrobe should lift you up, not weigh you down. Now, if you're still with me and you've found these insights meaningful so far, go ahead and comment number 2 below to let me know you're here and engaged. And if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to do so. And don't forget to turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new video designed to make your life lighter, simpler, and more fulfilling. 3. Expired medications and old toiletries. Let's head into a place we often forget about, our bathroom cabinets. You might be surprised at what's hiding in there. Expired medications, half-used prescriptions, and old toiletries tend to pile up quietly. We often forget they even exist until one day we're searching for a simple bandage or a bottle of aspirin. And instead, we find a chaotic mess of outdated products. Here's the thing, medications expire for a reason. Over time, they lose effectiveness, and some can even become dangerous. Holding on to that old bottle of painkillers just in case might seem harmless. But if you ever need them again, the responsible thing is to consult your doctor. New prescriptions are based on your current health, not your health from years ago. And it's not just medications. Think about that bottle of lotion that's been collecting dust, or the sunscreen that's older than your last beach trip, even perfumes you haven't sprayed in over a decade. Many people don't realize that skincare and hygiene products also have expiration dates. Using them past their prime can cause irritation, rashes, and even infections. Take Robert, for example. He's 75, tidy by nature, but one day, while searching for a simple antibiotic ointment, he discovered a shelf full of expired creams, old pills, and products he hadn't touched in years. That's when it hit him. Most of it had no purpose anymore. He decided to clean out the entire cabinet. The expired painkillers? Gone. That long-forgotten prescription? Tossed safely. And suddenly, his cabinet wasn't a cluttered cave. It was a well-organized space filled only with useful, safe items. Clearing out expired medications and unused toiletries isn't just about tidying up. It's about creating a safer, more functional space. It's about knowing exactly where to find what you need. It's about trusting that everything you use is still fresh and effective. So here's your reminder. Check your medicine cabinet. Look through your bathroom drawers. If it's expired, dispose of it properly. If it's unused, let it go. Make room for the essentials and reclaim your peace of mind. Fourth, old papers, documents, and unopened mail. Let's be honest, paper clutter is one of the easiest things to overlook, and yet it takes up more space than we realize. Bills from a decade ago, old receipts, outdated manuals, and unopened mail tend to stack up fast. Over time, these forgotten piles can make your home feel disorganized and your mind feel overwhelmed. Think about how frustrating it is to search for one important document while digging through mountains of unnecessary paper, or the stress that creeps in every time you see unopened envelopes collecting dust on your kitchen counter. Take Barbara. She's 73 and had an entire filing cabinet filled to the brim. Utility bills from the 90s, grocery receipts from long-forgotten trips, tax returns older than some of her grandchildren. One day, while frantically searching for her insurance documents, she realized just how much irrelevant paper she was holding on to. It took a few afternoons, but she finally sorted through it all. She shredded what was outdated, recycled what was useless, and kept only what truly mattered. The result? Not only did she create space in her home, she created space in her mind. For the first time in years, she knew exactly where everything was. No more guesswork, no more stress. Today, with digital records and online storage, you no longer need to keep every physical document. Start by reviewing everything with a critical eye. If it's not legally or financially important, and you haven't touched it in years, it's time to let it go. And when it comes to mail, handle it as soon as it arrives. Junk mail, toss it. Bills, pay them, then file what's essential. Magazines you never read, cancel the subscription. The less you keep, the lighter you'll feel. Because remember, cluttered paper doesn't just take up room, it steals your clarity. 5. Kitchen items you never use. The kitchen, the heart of the home, and often the most cluttered space of all. Over the years, we collect gadgets, dishes, mugs, and appliances, many of which end up buried in the back of drawers and cabinets, never to be used again. It might be that bread maker you swore you'd use every Sunday, or those mismatched plastic containers with no lids. Maybe even 5 different spatulas, when you only ever use one. George, 76, knows this all too well. He had every kitchen gadget imaginable. But when he needed something simple, like a frying pan, it took him forever to find it. One day, after an avalanche of baking sheets came crashing down, he'd had enough. So he asked himself one simple question: do I actually use this? If the answer was no, he let it go. Duplicate utensils? Gone? Expired spices? Tossed? That pasta maker he used once and never again? Donated. By the end, his kitchen felt brand new, organized, calm, easy. That's the power of decluttering your kitchen. Cooking becomes smoother, cleaning becomes quicker. You no longer feel drained just walking into the room. So take a look around, open your cabinets, peek into the pantry. If something's just sitting there untouched for years, it's time to let it go. Because a clutter-free kitchen isn't about having more. It's about having what you need and nothing more. 6. Sentimental items that no longer serve you. Now we arrive at the hardest category of all: sentimental items. Old letters, gifts, souvenirs, keepsakes. These objects carry emotions, memories, and meaning. That's why letting go of them feels so deeply personal. But here's the truth. Memories don't live in things, they live in you. Helen, 78, had dozens of boxes filled with items from her past. Letters from childhood friends, trinkets from old vacations, cards from birthdays long gone. When she moved into a smaller home, she faced a difficult reality. She couldn't bring it all with her. At first, the idea of letting anything go felt heartbreaking. What if she forgot those memories? What if she regretted it? But then she made a shift. Instead of keeping everything, she chose to keep only the pieces that truly touched her heart. Her wedding album, a few letters from loved ones, and a handful of souvenirs that still made her smile. The rest, she donated. Some she photographed to preserve the memory without keeping the physical item. And what she discovered was unexpected: freedom. Letting go didn't erase her past. It allowed her to honor it, while still making space for joy in the present. So if you're holding on to boxes of items out of guilt or fear, ask yourself, does this bring me happiness? Or just wait? You don't have to keep everything to honor your story. You only need to keep what still adds meaning to your life today. Because your home should be filled with peace, not pressure. With joy, not guilt. As we wrap up, take a moment to breathe and reflect. What are you still holding on to? Which of these 6 areas spoke to you the most? Remember, decluttering before 70 isn't about loss, it's about liberation. Each item you let go of creates more room for clarity, calm, and connection. Your home becomes lighter, your mind becomes clearer, and your heart opens up to new memories yet to be made. So, take that first step, one drawer, one cabinet, one small box at a time. And if this video gave you insight or inspiration, please let us know. Comment below with one thing you plan to declutter first. We'd love to hear your thoughts and support you on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you won't miss the next video. Thank you for being here. And remember, your best life isn't buried under clutter. It's waiting in the clear, open space you create.